but I use my time very inefficient.
Mm-hmm.
I have a day off for myself
Yes.
today, but I still have to do a lot.
Yes.
And I know I have a list of activities. I have
Mm-hmm.
what I should do, but sometimes I think, oh, I don't want to do this. I just want to watch videos in YouTube. How can you do you have this kind of situations in your own life, and how do you
Yes. How do you conquer? What do you do about it?
yeah.
Okay. Yes, of course, absolutely. I think if you all human being, you have. I call it. It's a feeling of resistance. That sometimes you have a dream, you can have a vision, you want to do something about it, but it's not easy, and it's just so easy to give up. So what I usually, what works for me, what I tell myself, how much I really want it. The vision, that the inspiration you have to finish something, that keeps you going. So there's like two forces. There's pushing and pulling. So if you try to push yourself, then sometimes this doesn't work for me. Because sometimes what really that might mean that you're tired. And sometimes it's okay to have a break, and it's important to stop doing everything. So you'll be more productive then. After you rest, you sleep, you go outside. It's very important to have this rest productive still. That you can, instead of watching stupid videos on the YouTube and entertainment videos, you can watch something that is inspiring. Or instead of sleeping all day, staying in bed, you can go to the park, breathe some fresh air, or you probably can talk to people who really inspire you. That would help for me. That others example of other people that I know. Well, I know that their success didn't come easy. So they had to overcome this resistance. And talking to them, that confirms my idea that, oh my God, if they did it, if they didn't give up, then maybe I can also get what I really want by just keep going and doing what I really have to do. It's important what kind of people you're with.
Yeah.
And there are people out there that I think that it might be very dangerous to spend time together because their values are so different. All they want is entertainment, they want to go party, they want to have alcohol and just stay up all night. And it's destructive because their value, the more you spend time with them, the more you think, oh, it's okay, maybe I didn't want this success that much. Maybe it's okay, I'll just go out to the party and then I will just sleep all day, like what they do in their life. But look at their results and look at your results. So I think that is important. And also, you have to make a difference. If you're really physically tired and you need just a short break, or this idea is not working and maybe your mind is trying to tell you that you should be doing something else. But everything that I think that I'm doing is it's about how I want to feel at the end of the day. Because what really brings the true happiness is the feeling of accomplishment. And that's going back to that meeting, the Pope Francis. Oh my God, it's inspired me so much to see one man. He followed his dream. He was born like any other man, but how much he did in his life that he's admired. And it's his success story is different. He is not a millionaire. He's not. He didn't create business, but he inspired people, and that's how. That's the humongous difference he makes. So. I think, I don't know, there's very individual, answering your question, there's very individual how to follow your like schedule. It's just important to know what you really want. And after allowing yourself to like have an hour off and not doing it for some time, then you can go back and maybe you have a new fresh energy. So it's important to differentiate, to know if you're really physically tired or you're not doing the right thing. Just have to be aware of that, I think. What would you do? What would you, because you are one of the very most accomplished people that I know, and even we all have difficulties, you seem to do so much. It's very inspiring. It's incredible. What would you do? Is there any your recipes, your strategies that you can share? What do you do about it when you don't feel like doing anything? When you're so ready to give up and do something else?
Yes, I just question because sometimes I think, wow, I do so little. I can do much more.
Mm-hmm.
But I absolutely agree with you that you can switch your activities.
Mm-hmm.
If you focus on your computer during a couple of hours and you think, oh, I don't want to do anything here. You just go, as you said, correct. I agree with you. Go to the park and go to have a fresh breath and do some physical activities. Sports, running.
Yes.
Very helpful for me, Anya.
That's great.
Sometimes I think, I don't want to do this. I'm tired, and I go to the run to do some exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I feel more energetic, more motivated to do more with my papers, with my computer, or something like this. And it's very nice. And I know you are very goal oriented. I have goals and vision, Anya, and we have a lot of opportunities.
True.
And how can you choose from this kind of opportunities? For example, for one day, for 1 hour, we can have 2, 3, 4 opportunities to go there,
yes.
to do that, to visit that person and to do that.
Mm-hmm.
How can you choose, or do you have any regrets if you choose that direction and you didn't choose that one?
Right. I think the really helpful question to ask yourself would be, a year from now, in the future, will that matter? Will I remember this? Is it just another party to have a good time, short term? Or it might be the chance to meet some inspiring people, to share the work. I think it is very important to know if my future self will thank me. What would I think? Because now when I look back, like last year, I know I can see it very clearly where I could do better. Where, well, there's something that I probably did not know, I was not ready, so I was not always making the best choices available. Learning from the experience is important, and then just knowing is that what you choose will get you closer to your dream life, to the life when you are going to feel happy, accomplished financially, and will be surrounded by great people. Or not, or you will be tired and miserable and full of regrets. Just vision to kind of envision the future self. That, I think, would be probably the key factor in decision-making process. And sometimes these choices are not that easy. Yeah. I mean, a typical example was last night when I was attending the party in a different part of town, and it was, lots of people to talk to. So I only talked to a few because I knew that that was the most important. And then I left early, so I was there. And instead of having alcohol, there was, because living in New York City, it's incredible that you can have fresh squeezed green juice at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is a city really never sleeps. When you make these choices, is then you ask, how do I want to feel the next day? What consequences my action will make? So every minute of the day, like every hour, can make a big difference, because we all wake up in the morning and every minute of the day we're making decisions. Either have a coffee or green tea for breakfast, either to play YouTube, some TV show, or listen to something that will inspire me, whether to go back to bed and sleep, or have an inspiring conversation on Skype with someone and practice English, or just goal setting skill. That, I think, is important, to just be aware of what you really want, and know that you're not going to get there that easily. So, and then just everything that you do, I think it should be enjoyable. Still, life is great, and then you have to just develop this skill of doing hard work, feeling good. I think that would be that, because it gets easier. It's like a muscle. It's really is a muscle in the gym. So first step. So if it's difficult, then you're in the right way. Then you're doing something very that it's a good thing for you to do, because that means that you're growing. My trainer at the gym says always a great phrase that helps me a lot. If it's easy for you, then you're capable of doing more. Then you can do more. If you can do like 10 push-ups easily, well, then you can do 20. So that's I think, so being all the difficulties, that's a wonderful thing. You have to like celebrate it, because it means that you are growing. That means that you are getting better. You're being like a better person than you've been before. I don't know.
Do you use any tools to be more productive, more efficient during the day? Mm-hmm. How do you plan your days? Maybe you use any applications or programs for focusing on priorities?
Well, yes, I write everything I have to do. If I do not write it, then it will not be done. And I prefer,
just for the day, or are you planning and you can see what you're going to do during the week, month, or a year?
I have actually. I start from 5 years from now, and then a year. What can I do? What I feel that my next year will be like. But these goals are flexible, so sometimes life has other plans and you're not getting there. And then you have to adjust. That's why plans for the year, for the month even, that you need to go back and correct them. And plans for the day, I think they're really important. And I start writing them the night before for the next day. So when I go to bed, I already have this idea in what I want to wake up into, what is waiting for me. That's why it is so easy to be up at 5 or 6 in the morning, because you know what to expect. You kind of prepare yourself. Wow, this is something great is waiting for me. It's like the airplane that you have to catch and go to some great destination. That really does help. And then you review it in the morning, make corrections, what you want to feel like, how I want to feel at the end of the day. And then you just put all the priorities.
To see what you're going to accomplish during the day, and to see the bigger picture.
Yes.
What you're going to achieve during a year or 5 years.
Yes.
You put this information in your subconscious mind.
Exactly.
And you attract situations, people, and what you attract to achieve this. That kind of people can help you. You cannot see these opportunities and see people if you don't see the picture.
True.
Your priorities, your vision, your goals.
Exactly. Yes, and that's how it's important that you make the right choices. and more importantly, get out of your life something that is not working. Yes.
Absolutely, and I just
Yeah.
have some like this after my running. I think like, but it's good. It's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
No.
it's very important. It's very important. And some people say that you shouldn't say about your goals, your dreams. Some people say that you should share your vision, share your goals to people. Someone
Mhm.
can help you with that. What's your thoughts, your opinion about that, Anya? Do you share your vision, your goals with other people, or you prefer keep it with yourself and achieve it by yourself? What's your ideas about
I
that?
think it truly depends on people. You cannot
Yes.
share everything with everyone.
Yes.
Some big goals or dreams, I think I'm too busy working on them to talk about them, because all the energy I need to put in the hard
Yes.
work, I would rather use this energy to accomplish something. The best thing to tell about your dream when it's already happened, when you already have results. And then you look back and then you say, oh yes, like 5 years ago I had this dream, but it was so far away and now it's everyday reality. So it's easier for me to have results first and impress people with that, not with what I want. Because
Yeah.
dreams,
Absolutely.
they're easy to share.
Absolutely.
Yes, and at the same time, there are some goals that I do like to share with people who are like-minded, who are just like me, who would understand, who would believe in me that it's possible, and people who are accomplished. Sometimes it's like a test drive. You share your dream, and other people approve it, and you feel like, oh, you get like more inspired. You're working in that, and you just share your maybe progress or sometimes fear or doubts with people who are also working on their dream. So it's
Yeah.
have to be very selective about this.
Yeah, my position is very similar with yours, and I
Yes.
agree with you that I prefer to share my vision and my goals with people who also like-minded, like goal-oriented, and who can support us to say, yeah, you can do that, and with my
Yes.
mentors and
Exactly.
people who really can help me with that.
Yes.
It's not necessary to share your goals and vision with people that, okay, yeah, okay, that's okay.
Yes.
But there was an experiment, Anna, with that.
Yes.
There was 100 people, 50 people wrote down their goals and said about their goals to other people's. 50 people, yes, also wrote down their goals, but they didn't tell anybody about that. And after a year, those people who didn't tell the people about their goals achieved much more than people who shared, who told about their goals. And psychologists said that it's because when you share, when you talk about your goals, and people say, wow, that's great, that you can do that, you feel that you already achieved that. And you give your energy to that. Oh, I already felt that. I thought about my goal. And it's great, but I prefer what you just told me, Anya.
Yes.
Share, to say about my goals to people who really can help me, and who already achieved that goals, who are like-minded, who are understand what does it mean to have and achieve goals, and it's very important.
Exactly.
Also have their support.
Yes, they've been there. They already have done it. They have an experience, because you don't have to invent the bicycle yourself. Some people already done it for you, and you can ask for their advice or their opinion. I think it's more like not really the goal sharing, but asking for opinion of someone that you value. You cannot do it with everyone, because sharing your dreams and your goals with everyone is a dangerous thing, because it's just so fragile. You're not there yet. You still have doubts, and other people would be very disapproval. They think you're crazy, and this is normal thing to do, because if they don't, then you're not doing anything significant. And being brave enough to continue working on your dream, on your goal, despite of all disapproval, despite of all people telling you're doing all wrong thing, it's not that easy. It's very hard. And then when you already achieve success and you're living the life of your dream and the life of the dream of lots of people, then everybody would just think, wow, you're so good, you've done so much, we're so proud of you. But they didn't tell you that when you were still working on your dream, right?
And you mentioned that it's very important to have right society, right environment,
Absolutely.
right people.
It's critical.
And also they're very important what kind of books and movies you read and watch. Because movies can program our subconscious mind as well.
Oh yeah, totally.
And what kind of movies are your favorite? What kind of movies you can recommend to watch that can inspire, that can teach, that can have a right message? Do you have any favorite movies?
Yes. I think I never watch movies for just entertainment, because I eliminate all the romantic comedies. So even when I start watching a movie, I already know that I don't want to finish watching it. That's why I prefer to watch films on the computer, because I never turn on the television. So because it's very good that you can control what you put into your system. But yes, there are films. Probably will share the list with you. I'm going to send it to you. Some of the movies, but let me see. There's one film inspired me so much. It was A Pursuit of Happiness. That's the name of the film.
Oh yes,
you've seen that. Oh my God, that. Yeah. So you see that the person, it teaches you that what really is possible. And I like that my biggest criteria for the movie will be autobiographies of real people that inspired the filmmakers to create the film, about something that they have done and made it possible. And somehow when I watch this film, I think, oh, that will be possible for me too. And sometimes some films that you see, they show that people, the strength of people. For example, my film that touched me so much, it's a Shawshank Redemption, which is in Russian, I believe, is Побег из Шоушенка. If you've seen this film, watch it. It's so strong, so powerful, and that teaches you that sometimes life is not fair, and sometimes it is so hard and so difficult, and it's such a temptation to feel desperate, and that's like 99.9% of people give up. But if you don't, then you have a chance to change your entire life. Even if everybody in the world thinks that it's impossible.
Yeah, Anya.
Yes. So
yeah, and thank you for sharing your favorite movies, Anya. Mm-hmm. I asked this question because a lot of people ask me, and I absolutely believe that it's very important to choose right movies, because it can be a very successful movie in cinemas, in marketing, but there could be very dangerous programs and ideas about that. And there's a book called by Randy Gage. I don't remember the name of this book, but it's probably about why you are poor, unhappy, and and something like this, and how to be rich, successful, and something like this.
Okay. Yes.
And
Yes.
he wrote about some movies, and he mentioned Titanic and Spider-Man.
Really? Okay.
He said this kind of situation in Titanic, for example,
Yeah.
a hero with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes. Well, he's a good actor and all. Yes, but
A ticket for Titanic, and there's some scenes like picture.
yeah.
There are a lot of rich people, and they talking about stock market. They talking about very uninteresting things, and children try to eat, and they say, okay, use this fork in this hand, and this is very, very how to say, boring stand. And
Yes.
the hero of this movie say to Rose,
Yes,
Rose,
to the
let's
main.
go downstairs. I'll show you how you can enjoy, how to be happy. And she goes there. They're very, very poor people, and there's a program that, okay, to be rich is very uninteresting, very boring, and to be happy and enjoy life, you can be poor. So this program, this bad idea is not really good, and a lot of people watch this movie and they don't understand there are so much programming of that.
Absolutely,
the same
yes.
With Spider-Man, the same with a lot of Hollywood movies and Bollywood movies, and it's very important to choose right books, right movies, to program our mindset, our subconscious mind, our brain for success, for goals, for achieving something. Like you said, biographies, autobiographies is very important.
Absolutely, yes.
It's great because when you watch a movie, you have these feelings, these emotions, and when you have emotions, our mind is very open for that programs, for that ideas, and we cannot remember that picture, that movie, that book, but something here will say, okay, don't do this. And there are a lot of programs about money, about relationships, about health, about values, about anything in life. And it's with these ideas, with this
mindset, right?
Movies,
it's a mindset.
You can change the mindset of millions and billions of people.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, and small amount of people knows about this.
Right.
And a lot of people know how to use these tools. And there can be a lot of situations in life, and they can change the mindset and ideas about this situation with movies.
Oh, yes.
About conflicts, about politicians, and something like this.
Very true. You are so right about this. Because I've seen Titanic, the movie, a long time ago. And there was somehow that I didn't want to watch it again. And now you explained it so well. And now I understand why. You're so right about the success in life. There's association with the poor people having fun. And I never thought about it. That, yes, I mean, they are having fun. They're partying right now. What are going to be tomorrow?
Yes.
They never think about the consequences of that. They're getting like fun. It's a short term versus they being actually feeling happy and accomplished on their lives, right?
Yeah, and because of that, I very rarely to go to premiere, to cinema. Okay, let's see what's going on. Well, let's see what's the movie about. What's this book about? If I want to, I can buy and watch in internet, in my computer, and because we know with you, Anya, how the mind works and what we think we become, and our program, our subconscious mind is very powerful.
Oh yes.
We can want to go this, to do this, to achieve these goals on our logical level, but the level that much more powerful than logical, subconscious level can say, you don't really want this, you don't really want to achieve that goal. And we can see this, we can change it, we can program our mind with right movies, right people, right books. It's process step by step. It's not just for 1 day, for 2 days. Because
Absolutely.
we had a lot of programs that not really useful for us from childhood, from young age, from people around who wish us well, who wish us success and happiness, but they don't really know how to do that because they have different programs, they have different teachers, they have different environment, and they think, oh, that's the only one right way. I'm going to teach my children what I know.
Yes. I mean, they're good and you're good in life are totally, completely different things. Yes, I cannot agree more with you on that because it explains so much. And this morning I was getting ready for our interview and I read your article that you published on Facebook. Wow, it's about the success, the principles of success. It's just so easy. You basically laid out the steps. Do this, it's like a manual, do this, and this. And then you will get where you want to be. Your life will be different, so much better, so much more exciting and happy. And what's more interesting was to read the comments of different people reacting differently. And what's impressive to me that the human mind can find an explanation. And mind is so good in explaining why you're not having that. And of course, you blame, of course, there's a government, there is maybe the economical situation, the political situation, everything is wrong, you cannot be successful, our society is corrupt. And they may be right about this. They're absolutely right that it's not easy. If that would be easy, then everybody could have it. But what if some people are successful and happy despite of it? You just say, okay, well, I mean, so what? Yes, we all are. Well, we were born in the wrong country with probably wrong parents, with the wrong mindset. Our money situation was not perfect. We were raising up. We couldn't change that. But what can you change? There's still so much that you can change. And there's so many examples of that. Look at people who were born in North Korea, or we still, compared to other people, we have a tremendous amount of opportunities. And this morning, before our interview, I was talking to my client that I'm working, and I know that I work with people from Russia. And you know that now the economical situation is different, so the dollar is more expensive. So as I charge in dollars, so my services and everything I do, it becomes twice more expensive for them. So they have to pay a lot more money. And for some people, it might be something, the factor will stop them. Oh, I mean, it's just, until dollar goes back, I'm not going to work. But it's interesting that some people, they send me the message like, wow, so I can still pay for something to get better in something. So what? Who cares how much dollars cost? It's not that important. It's more important that a year from now, I'll be living in America. I'll make a lot more dollars. I will have so much more opportunities. I'm not going to waste my time. So no matter how much it is, if it is expensive, so what? I'll pay this price, but I'll do the work. I'll get what I need to get there. Just help me to get there. And a year from now, or 5 years from now, we'll be sitting in Miami Beach or in New York City in the best restaurants on the rooftop on their skyscraper, and being successful and enjoy and celebrate life. And remember that time when I didn't give up, then I made the right choice. Maybe I didn't spend this money on some expensive dinner or a bottle of whiskey, but I invested it in my education, and look where I am right now. That's the mindset.
Wow, that's very inspirational, Anya. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Maybe not 5 years, maybe in 3 years, we're going to be on the best restaurant in New York City on the roof, and then you can go to the best restaurant in Miami Beach, so
It's so easy.
That's
Yes.
good, inspirational goal. That's very important. I should write it down.
Yeah.
And you just said it's very important. I think it's very important that you just mentioned. You, I think one of the most important goal most important habit that can guarantee you success is personal and never-ending improvement.
True. Yes.
And you just said that you invest yourself in education,
Yes.
in your skills, in your. It's not only invest with money. You also invest a lot of your time and energy.
True.
For you have new skills, new habits of your mind, of your mindset. How can you do that? How much in percentage people can and should invest, and what kind of skills do they need to achieve more in life? What would you suggest to that people who didn't know exactly what should they start from? What do they need to form? What do they need to know? What kind of education do they need? What kind of
I think it's
investment
right, really important, because I've been to that situation. I think some years from now, maybe 5 years ago, I had no idea what I'm going to do in a different country, with a totally different environment. I came to United States from Russia, where I already had my successful business, and my friends, and my life was very good in there. So I came to America because I felt that I can do more. So living in Russia, it's not inspiring anymore. There are more people, I can do more. So I can live my life knowing that I was able to change something for the better, more exciting, because it just was, I was at the point that it stopped being inspiring. It became boring, predictable, and despite of all success and money I made and all the good life that I had, I was not truly happy. So I thought I cannot be truly happy unless I do something more incredible, until I surprise myself and see what I'm capable of, because when it's too easy, that means you're not growing anymore. And I did not know where to start. And I think you have to start with something. And if I can recommend something to the people who don't know where to start, you have to start doing the actions, and that's how you understand and you will realize if you're on the right track or not. Get some results, get something, and then you see if that's what you really want to do in your life or not. Or then you quickly just said, okay, I tried that, I've done that, now it's time to move on to something different. And then you try, you peek and try. It's like, remember, you are in the, imagine like you're invited to the picnic, for example, and there's lots and lots of food there, all kinds of different food, and you don't know what you're hungry, you want to eat something, but it's all you don't know what to start from. So you try to have a sample. You try a sample of this. You try this piece of something, and like, oh well, that is not really good. Okay, then try something else. Try something else until you find what's your favorite thing that you will be eating, and that you eat, and you have more of this. Then the same thing is in life with all the work and towards their success. You have to very important is just start from something, because the dangerous thing to do is still looking and searching and searching. And I know there's people, unfortunately, who would never start. They would just sit and wait till something perfect comes around, and then life situation will change. And it never is a good time. It never happens with them. And it's better, like what I like to say, it's better be done than good. Do something. And if you get something right, if you, for example, it's obvious what I think, what you have to start, and it's for everybody, like what you mentioned before, the importance of physical form and energy. Because sometimes, people are just tired. They have like lots of toxins in their body. They're just tired. They need to start moving physically. So if you cannot have a great career, because that depends on other people, relationship, that depends on other people, but physical form, get in the best shape you can. That's how I started. Start doing exercise. If you cannot afford to go to the gym, go outside. Do the push-ups. The YouTube videos are free. So you have to build this energy, change everything that you're eating, that you're putting in your body. That's huge. Really, really big difference that it made. I mean, it was impressive for me how much it made. And then after that, you have this energy, and then you can start doing lots of other things. I think that from, at least with the physical body, it's just so easy. If you have like habits that you're smoking or drinking or go to the party too much, stop that and do something productive instead. And then ideas will come. You meet different people. Sometimes you just have to kind of have an open mind.
That's great.
Yeah. So you have an open mind, and then sometimes when you least expect it, when you're at the party or you're reading a book or doing something, and then you're just like, wow, that's the idea. That was waiting for that. Yes, that's it. And then you have this aha moment, yeah, then you want to do that, and then you will start doing that. That's the thing that proves that all the people that achieved success in their life, that's exactly what they did. You have to be brave and take a risk. And
yes, it's very important to have not just.
Basha, I think it's the screen froze again for a second. Yes, you're back.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's very tough to have noticed, but not what to do with.
True. I mean, it's and I mean, again, importance of be with the right people. Okay, Basha, let me try and turn off the camera and then turn it back on and see if that will make the difference. Okay, I can see that you're moving, but let me try to do it again. Yes, now it is back. Can you hear me now? Okay.
I can hear you, Anya, but I cannot see you.
Okay. Let me try and yes. Now this is back.
Oh yes, that's good.
Yeah. So I'm very much looking forward to the time when you come back to US, to New York City, because I would really like to introduce you to people that I know. This is something that the surrounding, the people that inspire me. It's just so much greater opportunities that they have. They made millions of dollars. They become really successful. They live. We were talking about with my friends, that the life that we're living here every day, it's like for some people it's like a movie. Like we were talking about the movie, and some people that living in a small village in Russia, they probably would just They watch a movie on television with their people having nice dinners in nice restaurants in New York or in Miami, or people they're living that great lives. But why don't you just want to make a movie out of your own life? How about just living there every day? It's just another thing. You just experience this thing that people can only dream about. For them, like it's a life event, and for me, it's like Tuesday, like another day.
Yeah, and I can agree that kind of people, because I was like one of them. Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe, I couldn't accept this, that I can do that.
Yes,
I can live like this. But when you grow, when you see some difference, wow, that's reality in my own life.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, yes, I mean your life example with everything that I see, it's incredible. Like for Russia, it's like it's not, and it's not easy. Not easy because it could be because it's. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very, very much for your support. But for example, for my own life, mm-hmm. I see, wow, I did so little. I can do much more, but it's great. It's great to learn, to grow, to see the difference. And the same with you, Anya. I can see that what kind of results you have.
Thank you.
What kind of thoughts, what kind of activities, and you are a role model for people and inspirational person.
Thank you.
Person who shows you can do that. You can live like this. You can live. You can. It doesn't matter where you're coming from small city, from Soviet Union,
Yes.
from Russia, from Serbia, or different kind of different parts of the world. But you can change that. No matter where you're coming from. You can change your destination. You can change this. It's not for one day. You cannot change for 1 or 2 days, for 1 month. But you can change your direction. And the direction can be changed with your thoughts.
Yes.
With your thoughts, with your actions. It can take 5 years. It took you a lot of time to live the life you're living now.
Yeah.
And you are example that person who does watch their lives, different lives on TV sets, can live your own life like this.
Well, I think it's so worth it, because if you said, usually it may take even a year, can make a huge difference. Even like working hard, like a year, if you take in the right direction and if you do the right thing, you could change your life. 5 years, wow, you can change it incredibly. You can totally become a different person for 5 years. But then if you're going to live longer, what 5 years is, then if you the rest of your life till you're 100 years, then you can wake up every day feeling truly happy. I think it's really worth it. Because people think, oh, I don't have time to do things, to read inspirational books, change my life, I'm so busy. But then they have like 30 years or 40 years of their life to spend in a miserable, low-paying job, in the totally wrong people, being in a wrong relationship, or being in somewhere they don't want to be. And I know people, they spend like they waste all their life for that. People there, especially people that are older, and then they have regrets, and because sometimes it could be too late. It really can. I mean, it's you can say, maybe, I don't know if you really agree or not. I mean, we don't know yet. But every year that you wait and don't do it, it's harder. The younger you start, the easier it is. And the longer you wait, than your previous program for non-success, they're planted even harder. So it's more, you have to make more efforts to change something. Because it's that for me, that was the fact, because I started too late. I mean, I think the biggest transformation for me, it happened after university, after school, after I didn't start early. So like you said, small town in Soviet Union in the middle of nowhere. Family was we lived there was a different economical situation, but yes, we counted every ruble to live, and no opportunities. I mean, and the values, like my mother was a school teacher, my mother's school teacher, my father's an engineer, so it's very typical Soviet family, where it's hard. I was the first generation, first in the generation, the family who could make this difference, and said, well, so what? It doesn't matter where I come from. I have wonderful parents, but my life, it's only mine. I cannot just tell that, oh, that's how if I'm expected to live this life, that's what I should do. It's your own life now, and then it's only you can make this decision, and it's important not to forget about it. Do you agree with this? That is
absolutely, it's our own life, and we are responsible for this situation, for the results we have right now. Absolutely, they are DNA, they are something like this. But more than 50%, you are responsible for what you have right now. If I have this kind of income, with this kind of financial situation, I'm responsible for that. If I have this kind of relationships with people, I am responsible with that. This is results of my thoughts and actions in the past. If I want to change something that I don't really like in the future, I should to change my actions and thoughts about this situation right here, right now. If you don't see any results during these years, probably nothing can be different. Nothing can change if you do the same things, the same actions. If you want to change this, you can change and do something different.
Yeah. What was yes? Can I ask you? Very curious about what was your motivation? What was like first your reason that you made this decision to change your life? Because that's how I believe everything starts, with a decision. So when was it when you just realized that I want something different?
I know that's a very good question. I don't really remember this day or this situation that put this idea in my mind.
Yes.
Wow, I wanted. It was the process. I just wanted to do something different with my own life. I understand that I had these parents, I had these grandparents, and nothing very special. I just want to see something different. I just want to see the world. I know I see people who achieved much more than examples in my own life. And I want to live more abundant that someone lived in my environment, in my family. I want to do something. And I started to search their activity that I'm very passionate about this. And I think I found this, and I can do this for free. And I want to become an expert in this. And when you are an expert, Anya, when you do something very good,
yeah,
you have for your value for people. We cannot have money and income and salary for being in an office from 9 to 5. We have money for the value we bring to the company, to people.
True.
And it's very important. My motivation is to make a difference in my own life, in the lives of people around that I love, that I appreciate, that I feel responsibility not for my own life, for my mother, brother, and people around. It's very important.
They have the life of their own. Yes, true.
Yeah, that's great. What about you?
Well, probably the also I think being exposed to something totally different in life, because I remember I always had this feeling inside me that something I was not truly there where I wanted to be, but I didn't see anything else. So, I mean, I felt like my life was, I think it was still in school years when I think when you're in Soviet school, your day, like you go to school, there's teachers, not all of them are so nice. And then you have a lot of stress doing the homework. And I remember that I wasn't really the good student in school. The classes like literature and history and other classes, they were very interesting for me. But others like mathematics and everything, and it was like a tension. I hated it so much. I was a bad student. I didn't have a good relationship with the teachers. That caused a lot of stress because my parents and my family, they expected me to bring the good marks, and I felt like I was a disappointment for them because they think, why? Maybe if you didn't get 5, you only get like 3, then means that you are a bad student. So it was a big tension. I thought, I don't want to have 5 in algebra because it's not interesting for me. I have to be but I was in such a dark place. I did not see anything that could change it. I think, oh, if I will, that's how my life will be. Like, but I was kind of ready to be like open about it, just to kind of see what else can I do. If I don't want this, then maybe there's something different exists. And then I remember it was in school, but that time, it was before internet. If you remember this time, that you can get a great inspiration from people from all over the world, being in your apartment. But back then you couldn't have this, and all the books in the library, they were less than inspiring. And I remember that it was one student from Denmark. It was from Copenhagen, I think. That it was a young girl, very adventurous. She came to Russia to learn Russian language, to work, because it was possible for her. And we met first time when I was still in school. And that's how I think the huge transformation happened, from just meeting a person who came from a different world. That she was like dressed differently, she was smiling, feeling very happy, and I think, oh my God, she is so different than all the people. She had like a light in her. It was just, coming from a Western world, that means that she had a lot more like amount of freedom than most people that I saw. And then because obviously she spoke very good English then, because we didn't even speak Danish, but she was fluent in that. And then we met, and then she asked me, like, how are you? And I didn't understand the question. I was like, what is it? I had so much stress that I had, even if I was studying English in school for several years, I couldn't understand the speech of a like real person who speaks English. And then it was like a lightning. It was like a piano falling on my head. Oh my God, that is different world. How can I be a part of it? And I knew it was impossible. Everything, we had no money to travel. All the borders were closed. It was even impossible to get visa somewhere. I didn't know anything about this. And I remember this girl, she was showing the photos of her and her family, and I saw, they live in a nice, beautiful house. Then she saw the city in Denmark. And oh my God, I was just so inspired. And then I started thinking, what can I do? Like, first I got, okay, it would be impossible for me without like being able to speak good English. I cannot be there. I cannot have this life because nobody would understand me. Okay, then I need to get this covered. So my mind started working really hard in this direction. What can I do? What steps should I take? I was ready for that, and it happened. And it was truly inspiring. It starts with I think the meeting, the energy that you exchanged. So, and then I was so brave enough. So I asked this girl, "Can you be my teacher? Can you teach me some English?" And we actually did some classes. And every meeting was so inspiring. It was so important. So I forgot all about my other classes, my algebras and literature and everything else. I concentrated on learning language. That's why I'm really grateful that my parents, they found me the teacher. So
it's very important. The same was with me. It was in my
Really?
when I was 20.
Yes.
And great, huge breakthrough for me was my first travel and my first visit the United States.
Wow. Tell me more about it.
It just changed my mindset.
Yeah.
My world picture.
Yes.
My life philosophy. I just saw that the different people, different world living in, and I didn't think how that they can do this, live that like this, and that was breakthrough. That was speed up of my actions after that, and it's amazing. It's very important to meet different people, to meet different cultures, different countries. Read different books, because your mindset is changing, and you see the difference in your own life.
Very true. Yes, you can learn from positive example. And what I've learned my last visit to Russia, not being in Moscow, but being in a small city where I grew up, oh my God, it was I had so many strong emotions seeing that people, they got older. For the last time I was there probably was 10 or 15 years ago. Now everything is the same. People, they're living the same life. It's like everybody knows each other. People are so not happy. Like it was just so depressing. The living conditions and everything, and they're not doing anything about it. Oh my God. And that it's around, and then they're all talking to each other, exchanging their values. They blame the government, they blame everything else for their misery in their life, and they're not doing anything. I mean, and I saw I came from New York City to a small town in Russia. And I couldn't help it, the feeling like, there's a world exists outside this. You can have this life differently. And all these people, you're right, they're watching television about the movies, how people are living their life in luxury and doing something incredible. And all they can do is just, they're just, every day is the same and routine. They're basically like they're waiting slowly to die. Because the life doesn't make any sense. Like, oh my God, it was strong. I cried when I saw the people they live, and then it's like they're living in jail. They're not that they're really cannot do anything. It's not that there's somebody stopping them, but they stopped themselves. They stopped trying. They stopped. They don't have a spark in their eyes. They just waiting. Life is getting worse and worse and worse. Everything, they complain and complain and complain about everything. And, the living conditions that they're living in, this is just so sad. Very sad. But that also taught me, it was a great lesson for me to go back to my life and even put even more effort in keeping things.
Yeah, me too. I'm very grateful for that. We were talking about this before, Anya, and it's great to see that during these 3-4 years you traveled much more.
Oh yeah, it's just norm.
I traveled. I'm talking about me, Anya. During these 3 years, I traveled much more than I traveled in previous 25 years of my life. So I feel that it's getting more fast. It's speeding up. And we talked with you like a week or 2 weeks ago that it's getting usual for us to buy tickets and go to somewhere in a different country for a weekend.
Absolutely. Yes, totally. For you, it's quite incredible that you could just go to like Netherlands, or you can go to so many, even in Moscow, so many exciting places to see that. It's like everyday part of your life. Like, wow, it's truly inspiring for just so many people, because you are not necessarily from Moscow, so you were living in a different place. So you were living in Moscow and doing that. It's clearly by choice.
Yes.
Wow. No, this is just so much more to come. So I have absolutely no doubt that very soon we will be having dinner in one of the most interesting places. We'll just go to a jazz club in New York City and do so many interesting things that people can only dream about.
I agree with you, Anya.
Yeah, totally. I'm just very impressed with all the work that you're doing, and because you are spreading your knowledge and experience. And once I needed that inspiration that you're giving it to other people with the books that you're writing and the speeches and the training that you're doing. That is so much needed that I cannot tell enough how important it is. What you're doing.
The same for you. You are doing a lot of. You share your ideas. You share your energy. You share your experience with people. It's amazing. It's great. I have some feedbacks about that, and they are
Wow.
very grateful for what you do, what you share, what you give to people. It's great. It's
Well,
great.
it's a great pleasure for me too. It's just something that I would be doing more than anything else. It's fantastic. Yes, Pasha, it's always very inspiring. I like our conversation. It's that's just sharing that and being heard. This is a great pleasure, and you're a wonderful audience, and your questions are they make me think differently. It's just wow, wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're most
Same
welcome.
for you. Your questions, your experience with that industry. I learned a lot from you, and your thoughts, your ideas, your experience are very impressive.
Thank you. I think it's really helpful and useful. I think it's growing into something like more like a project that would be interesting to do, and I would love to continue doing that. And no matter where we are, like when I'm in Paris or in Europe, so we can also do it because internet does exist and it allows us to have these conversations, and yeah, it's really fantastic. So I wish you the great end of your day and productive work, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Anya.
okay,
Thank
great.
you very much for everything, and I wish you have a great, abundant, productive day and weekend.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
talk to you very soon.
Absolutely. Yes, that is the plan. We'll talk to you very soon. Thank you, Pasha. Bye-bye for now. Bye. Have a great day. Bye-bye.